And if you look at the CT side, the rotations might be fairly quick through Z connector, but you're so far away from the default plant at B that you kind of need strength and numbers to win the pick game.
So well, it was Flamey who gave someone like Body that huge chance. You know, Body went on that infamously quite well looked over now round that kind of brought this one back to being an interesting game previously. However, we are into the pistol on the T side of NAVi, CT side it's Astralis, and already NAVi have put their attention straight towards B, and the bomb's actually committed on towards the site as well, so keep that in mind. Not every other NAVi player here either, so they can still back out of this, but Device taking so much damage, it's seeming like surely they're going to commit.
Kerrigan's got 2. That's a good start. Simple going down. That's coming out toward Ivy, so any chance for a split gone. But again, this bomb going toward B on the pistol round, not uncommon at all. Again, we mentioned it, fast default plant. Even if you don't pick up the round, you can get guns out sooner. Yesterday, we did see some force buys in second round after situations such as this. Low HP on Device and Kirby. There's a chance they could potentially pull this back with a few quick kills, but those, well, don't even happen, don't even need to. It's Kerrigan and Zipix. So Kerrigan with 3 kills, rotating all the way over to B. Good movement from Astralis in the pistol round. The NAVi, their plan to try and pull rotations doesn't really work at all.
No, absolutely not at all. Surprised that they kind of committed so far with the bomb, even towards the side itself, and they didn't have the rest of the players there, but still, you know, the plan was to try and catch the rotate. Really didn't happen. But anyway, Astralis up to a good start. That's what we're going to be seeing for these guys, get off to that good start. Again, we've actually questioned them a lot on their pistol prowess and their pistol rounds recently. They haven't been particularly having a great time of it all. So, you know, to see them picking up at least that, it's a good step in the right direction. And, you know, I'm not going to say that that's everything done and dusted, but it's certainly the right sort of pathing towards it. So NAVi going back in on this with the Deagles, a little bit of armor as well to supplement it, but 0 utility here.
Deagle buy with this armor, though, it kind of negates the fact that we talked about that potential for the gun buy. Usually they go for the full save in this situation on the terrorist side. That's pretty lovely. Flavy jumps up. Hey, why are you not boosting me anymore? Oh, I see what happens. Kirby just absolutely annihilates the person trying to boost him. Zipix will spot some activity toward the upper B. They'll try and act accordingly, and they've pulled over just a bit of support from Device. They've got the man advantage on the A site, so there's no reason they should have to leave anyone in any odd situations on B. Guardian, though, lovely shot. Kirby goes down. No response from Kerrigan because he's still watching out toward Ivy. This forces Dupree to have to get up to control room just so he has a better vantage point of the entire site.
Guardian is incredibly good on this map with this gun, and I don't know what it is about it, but I would not keep your eyes off it. Now Zipnix is actually low as well, and he's one of the ones with the bigger rifle here, and again, sees now wants a bit of it, he gets it, Dupree goes down, simple towards Zipnix, this has gone deadly.
Dupree, that's a 100% kill. You should be winning that no problem with the M4 from that position, so misses the spray down. Kerrigan at least pulls one back on Guardian, but it's like you said, he's very good on this map with that gun, and it has to do very much, okay, so good recovery to not only stop the round, but stop the bomb plant from NAVi, but Guardian knows the angles on this map very well. If you watch his crosshair placement when he's AWPing, not only does he try and wall from Z through to A main and vice versa when he's on the terrorist side, he's very good at placing it and going for quick strafe shots. So perhaps something that transfers over to the Deagle and that one-tap potential.
Yeah, certainly. We're actually going to be seeing a scout as well. Really nice complement sort of play between the scout and the Deagle. Of course, if you tag with one, you can generally close with the other. So it works very nicely together. Flamey's got to be careful though, got to be peeked, and Device has the bigger gun. Simple as that. The AWP comes out, Flamey goes down, and Guardian's going to recover the scout at least and drop it back over and try and reset this one a little bit. C's not going to get away with that. Device showing that kind of fluid play that he's starting to get known for again. Starting to see that coming back through on the AWP. Simple looking for opportunities over at B.
Well, doesn't really find much. P90 getting him down from a distance. Smart pickup by Zipix, not as much kill reward. Obviously on that weapon as the other SMGs, but it doesn't matter, he's got 50 bullets to try and shut down any potential rush from the pistols, and that's the primary objective. Dupree will take down Guardian. It's all onto Edward, has bomb, has Deagle, but has no really room to move. He hears Zipix trying to spot up toward him. He may actually catch him up because of that, so Zip's not going to think he's as close. However, Dupree's going to spot him, and that'll give it away, so he'll turn back instead of watching upper. And very efficient start to this game so far from Astralis. 2 rounds, they keep 5 players alive. Now, one of them was the pistol. The second one, they did have to reinvest a little bit, but this allowed them actually to bring out rifles, so no need for the bonus round. Zipix can carry it over, but they're in a good position with the AWP already bought to go against Guardian. Now, that's the big thing. Guardian has to go glass cannon on this. Even with that early bomb plant, the double forcing out of the Deagles leaves him a little bit limited with no utility here as well.
He did have a very good spawn, though. Again, it doesn't really matter if you go down towards Ivy. The CT can already beat you there if they want to hold the angle, but he's going straight into it. Look at this guy, so confident on the peak as well.
Guardian actually was a little bit fortunate that nade landed below and he was jumped up on the dumpster because no armor. That could have put him down to 50 if that had landed correctly, but smokes out both ways. Go, oh, Kerrigan, this is so perfect, but unfortunately they've already come down quad. I was gonna say that's a perfect counter to their smoke trying to rush through. He leaves a slight gap in it as well, but he gets caught out by the man that walked in from A main, and that's due to the fact that they lost so many picks on the entrance. So Xyp9x gets one and gets traded out immediately, and Kirby, he's trying this very long, audacious flank. I dare say he will get Edward out of this, but after that, the attention's going to be turned. There's no double potential out of this.
We'll find out if he can even get that already. Edward tucked himself in towards Pop quite early on, and maybe going for something a little bit different here could help him out. We'll see if Kirby can work anything out of this. I find it so unlikely, though. As you said, maybe a one and done would be the best he can achieve, but he's going to go for it anyway. Still looking around. He's going to catch Guardian off. Doesn't take the instant shot. Now he does. Looks for follow-up. He knows Edward's going to be there. I think he saw the gun barrel earlier on. So this could be quite smart, but Kievi could not locate where Simple was. And to be fair, the sad fact being, Astralis knew that was going to be an A hit. They'd pushed players through those brown holes incredibly early on, but still were not able to get there in time. As you said, that very long flank coming out in the end.
Really good job by Simple as well on the way through. So first gun round does go the way of NAVi again, though. Not a really large reinvestment required. They're able to bring back up another AWP on the CT side right away. Kirby, he's on the M4 as well. So everyone on guns, decent utility. The only limiting factor right now is Xyp9x doesn't have armor, and there's only one kit. That's in the hands of Dupree. So you kind of have to keep an eye on where he's playing in the sense that if a bomb goes down, he's got to make himself relevant or die very near the bomb if it's going to be the one defending the site. So right now, pretty straightforward play. They're fanning out across the map. Again, a lot of Ivy pressure, and Kerrigan tagged down to 13 really early. Three-man again from NAVi to start things off in this position. So this is something they're going to have to address. And Kerrigan, again, I mentioned this yesterday, normally would play that with Cajun B in this exact position that Kirby's in right now. And they would rotate back and forth off of each other depending on who had the op and who wanted to be more of the support role in that situation. They changed it up because they felt like they were being counter-shredded at times. But now Kirby fits into this role. And yesterday, I think he struggled tremendously to work off Kerrigan well.
We'll see if that timing's going to be a factor again. You said before there's a couple of missed flashes, a little bit of communication errors that were certainly showing through. However, Kerrigan's be watching a different angle. Device gets caught out. Now NAVi have a route in, and now it's made even wider. Kerrigan gets found on the site. Dupree wasn't really watching the angle either. Going to try and get up towards above, peek in slowly, and they're going to be watching that every day of the week. Kiebi, though, in a perfect position here. Waited so long, so patiently. Now he has to seize the moment, and he does. That's two back-to-back and brings it back to an even situation.
You know, if Life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I don't know why they don't check that spot. Why that's such a common position for a CT to be residing in. And Kirby, his patience pays off, picks up two, denies the bomb down. And although Edward's still trying to walk in the site with it, Kirby's kind of changed his angle up. He knows Ivy's covered off from Xyp9x, and he can just focus on this cross point. It may allow a bomb in, but no, Edward's going to pursue this. So bomb, that's a gift. Now they've got a crossfire set on this. This is easy. All Kirby has to do is just sit and wait for Xyp9x to make the call. Watch toward quad position. Simple's going to cross Xyp9x first. Nice crosshair lineup. Simple showing some form today. And again, he hits the headshot. Two for Simple. You can't deny him in those situations. But Astralis, that's just around stolen away. They did everything so well in the end to pull that back.
And look at their money now, Matt. That is absolutely trashed their economy too. That is a really devastating round. Stunning stuff from Simple individually. And this is the sort of firepower that individual man can bring to this lineup that people are looking for. That's the sort of play that can really just swing those additional rounds. You maybe on paper don't deserve all that hard work from Astralis, and then there's the switch up. So now Astralis now down to the pistols, a couple upgraded here and there, but not too many between them. A Deagle, a P250, and really just a bit of a stack towards A, and not even a big stack either. Kerrigan's going to look down towards Ivy, backs away from that too. So again, not much of a shot here.
Flamey. Waiting to go through, so two straight gun rounds now for NAVi. Astralis with Device trying to lead the charge here. Have to get aggressive. Deagles for them. Nearly gets the crosshair lineup on Flamey, but smartly he's going to fall away from that right away. And Smoke will allow him to escape toward Hitch as well, so they can put more emphasis on the Ivy. But oddly enough, this time the one time NAVi, knowing they're up against an Eco, not going to put pressure there. Instead, they play picks also around the map.
Yeah, it's worked out really well. Device now, and Dupree going to be left reeling off the back of this. Still a good position, you know, a good position to maybe pick up a kill or two here, but kind of unlikely as they are checking meticulously. NAVi not going to allow a single angle to go unchecked, and it'll be a very clean round. No plant to supplement it, however, clean as you like. That'll do for them. Money's starting to look a little bit better for NAVi, getting that buffer going, getting that little bit of a cushion to fall back on. It's a 3.1k, 4.7, you know, almost getting up there and towards that. And on the other side, of course, Astralis just getting off the starting blocks in the form of building up their economy. It really has been quite sparse for them to string together those rounds to get any sort of advantage. Even the rounds they've been winning have been quite close. So again, let's see how this goes. NAVi looking for something a little bit different here. Guardian heading straight over towards B. This could be a very, very quick hit, and it looks like it's going to be that Guardian. hits the brakes, takes a step back. But Simple shows his hand.
And Xyp9x, smoke out in front. It's going to fall back on this. He's got Kievi to cover off rotations, but Edward firing. He actually does get, I didn't think he'd get the angle line up on that. I thought he'd get the damage in early, but catches his toe perhaps as he's falling away. That's pretty impressive. So that's going to give another first pick to NAVi, and problematic as it is for Astralis. We said this, if you can stabilize one first early kill on Train, especially on the terrace side, there's so much you can do because there's so much ground to cover and so many angles inside of the A site, B site. You're so far away from the default plant position. So now, if they go to this site, Device pretty much has to win at least a 2 versus 1. He needs to get 2 before he goes down.
Well, it's a big old task, let's be honest. Xyp9x, not exactly a stranger at doing very well in these sort of situations. However,
I mean, either he or Xyp9x.
Yeah,
Anyone on the B side has to get 2 on the way through.
Yeah, we'll see. They pull Karrigan over as well now, so dupree's pretty much the only one at A. He's playing by Pop. This is actually not a bad read from Astralis. Cease can cause issues. He's on the long flank. Again, he's got complete freedom, so now he's going to be going, guys, I don't see anyone at A. And there's the rotate. Now dupree comes into the action. They're going to make a mad dash for this. dupreeh has to stop them. He is the linchpin player here, and he's coming up with the goods. He only gets 2 in the end, but that's enough to slow them down at least.
Evens out the situation, 3 versus 3, but the rotations had already gone over to B. 14 seconds left in Seized. He'll cut off the first. This will allow the bomb plant easily. Now, Karrigan's gone undetected toward the CT stairs. This will give him a position from Ivy, but do they anticipate it? Not quite. Flamey gets caught off guard. Information given up. Does that allow Device a way through? Well, it better. Because Simple once more has taken down Karrigan, re-peak shoulder, AWP, missed the shot from the M4, and Simple's got an easy lineup. NAVi's making decent decisions. Again, they're running out of time as they always do. It nearly costed them in the Simple 1 versus 2. There was 15 seconds. And Astralis, I blame, they're not making a good enough decision. Perhaps Xyp9x needed to stay alive in that situation. But in this case, really good read. Okay, we don't have the information on B, but we know we forced the rotation. Just go back over to A, get the 1 kill, done. Bomb down, no rotation time.
So again, Astralis, their money is so bad in this game so far. They're back down to merely upgraded pistols. They got aggressive though. You got dupreeh, Device actively looking for these kills, trying to position themselves in any place of power, but that's almost impossible at this point. There's no way they can approach this with any sort of advantage. So they're going to try and stack out on the bomb side with 4. Leave Karrigan on the long flank. He's got the information coming in that there's no one down from Ivy. I don't see anything by main. Get ready for the B hit. So it's a matter of can they just hit these shots back to back, and so far that's a no.
Well, Simple's just on fire this game. This is a different form than yesterday altogether. Yesterday we talked about him more playing a support role almost. Didn't ever pick up the double AWP. Had 20 kills on this map, but not the impact that we would have expected today. He's definitely making that felt. As Karrigan will at least get Guardian, but 1 versus 2. He's just desperate to get to the corner quickly and caught off by Edward, who hears him coming. 5 in a row now for NAVi. So max loss round bonus here going the way of Astralis. Immediately they go double up because of it. So this is a big investment. But again, CT side, you pretty much can't buy and force again. You have to buy and save. So see if this works for them. It's going to have to come up big. What's the spawn points is the bigger question out of this. They're both on A side, so no one's going to get toward the B corner. So they can't go for that 1-man anchor and 4 inside A.
Ooh, okay, so we're going to have Device being the 1 player on B. Is he just behind the corner? He is. He peeks into it and he lands a shot. That's big, actually. And they're going to try and exploit it by a little bit, by being quite quick or being quite active and going for the challenge. Guardian locked down the angle. He knew Device was going to adjust there. And I love that little battle between Orphers as well. They know each other so well, how they like to play it. And already Kievi finding Seized is going to bring this one back a little bit, you know, to a competitive nature. But still, NAVi have that bomb towards the side. And they still have that, I guess, the ace up their sleeve in the form of Simple, who's been having an absolutely sick game so far.
Guardian looking to just clear out as Simple's already down inside of the site with bomb. But they've got this, I mean, the thing is they can easily get a bomb plant out of this. But they've got 3 already in the back of the site at B right now. From Astralis' side, so Flamey gonna try and go for the plant. Guardian's gonna read this well, actually. Times it, already scoped in, won't give away any noise when he comes around the corner, and oh my goodness, dupreeh standing on the railing, gets caught. Fast reactions from Guardian as always, but Kirby moving up finds Flamey, and that's gonna give Guardian's position away. So Xyp9x, he's gotta be a little bit careful. He's gonna walk up the middle, try and catch them off based on their position, but it's a double upper play, which can bait one out, and what a shot again! Karrigan, it's a pixel of his head showing, and guess what? That's enough for a haircut and good enough for a kill. As Guardian pulls this back down 2v2, and they've got the high ground. Kirby baits out 1 shot, but they double up, and Xyp9x is there to support. They have enough time for the defuse. That was far too close for comfort. And Guardian, my God, 2 incredible shots.
How terrifying is this NAVi team? Let's be okay, they're lots around, but you look at that. What Guardian just did then and what Simple's been doing this game. You think, okay, that refined over a season? Oh my word, this team is terrifying individual power there, just real raw firepower. That shot towards Dupree was just sickening as well. There's just, look at that pixel shot there again, so little showed in that sort of aspect. However, for Astralis, at least it means they can come back with a decent buy here. Device, Karrigan, they do have that double AWP back out to play. Got a little outdone with that before. Zipnix, however, back at B this time. Looks like NAVi want to show some presence or at least be here a lot earlier.
Okay, this NAVi team could be the team to rival SK right now. I think they've got so much potential. Simple's going to smoke this out. Leave himself room for the drop and entrance. Flash as well, that covers off Zipnix. Device force back. Simple clears the crossfire angle in case anyone's close bomb. And guess what, Astralis? They've got to go way back in their own site. They have to give this up so they have strength and numbers on the retake. Interesting thing about that, though, is again, there's a smoke down on Z, so Kierby still doesn't have a lineup. Karrigan's not rotating from A. He's expecting a lurk. So even though bomb's down on B, Karrigan's really late, and perhaps anticipating just simply from the single smoke that went down toward ladder that there was going to be a lurk player on A. Means he's late, that means they're down already, and Edward's got Zipix. It's Dupree, though, that's up close. He's found a bit of a room to move, and they've almost lined up for him. It sees he's got the trade kill back. It's going to leave this down to a 4 versus 2.
It's looking rather unlikely, especially when you miss shots like that in comparison to what's been hit by the NAVi boys. Kierby's got the AWP. He's going to just try and back away from this one now. The odds are certainly not in his favor, and I do understand... Oh, wow, okay, Guardian just catches him in the heels. I do understand that, you know, Karrigan held around quite some time. Seas has been a bit of a factor on that flank, but still, you were there so long by that sort of time. Kind of gave that one over a little bit too easy towards NAVi. So again, the money now looking pretty shattered for Astralis here.
Still haven't seen the AWP come out on Simple yet today either. I'm not expecting it, but for those of you who didn't see yesterday on the debut for Simple, he did not run it at all. It was still seized running the secondary AWP. There was only one round, and oddly enough, it was a save round where Simple had the only gun, he had the economy to do it, and he got 3 kills and they won it. So yeah, the potential is there in so many ways for NAVi in that sense.
So I do wonder if they reworked that strat book yet. You know, have they had the time to go back through it? You know, write Simple into it as an individual. Oh, easy. Oh my God, what has just happened with these team kills?
Unbelievable.
What has just happened?
And Device just one-tap Simple. We need a replay. That is incredible. That I think it must have bounced awkwardly off of something and then went down because the 1 kill came in and it threw off everything. Still have the weapon advantage, but man, 2 versus 2. Astralis have been gifted an equalization here as Edward. He's going to walk back in from ladder. Bomb will join him. It's Guardian that'll carry it over toward this site this time. AK-47 in hand as he has to get close proximity and into the site. And from a distance, Device is going to allow this to happen with still just pistols because all the kills came in situations and positions where they can't grab guns just yet. Zipix will go to ladder. It might give them a pincer effect when bomb goes down in post plant, but I like this actually. This is quite clever. Guardian's going to clear out Z, but he's also got a really unorthodox position for the plant, and he's going to throw the bomb back down for that exact reason. The only thing is Device can spot him when he does walk in from hell. So unless if Guardian continues to watch Z and he gets spotted up early enough, Device could find the information on him.
Did Device just shoot them? I think I just heard a P250 go off. Okay. Yeah, okay, just trying to find the corner. Fair enough. Didn't know if it was a misclick or if he was just trying to bait something out. And it looks like they're just trying to look around for guns. I wonder if Zip can get his hands on anything here. I don't know how much NAVi are able to hide these weapons. That's what they're going for at this point. Oh, there's an AWP down as well. That's massive.
Yeah, they know exactly where the kills came in.
There it is.
So that's all they want. Good call. Very good call. And that's why Device is just clearing the angle so they can make that exact move. Guardian realizes it late, but they're already gone. So Astralis, they'll pick up an AWP to carry over on that.
Oh, Guardian's noticed. He's going hunting for this as well. He's not got much time, but he can look towards spawn. Device and Zipnix are around there, both of them just on the left side. If he peeks around the whole way, he would have found them, but not enough time left. They do get away with, a brilliant way of getting out of that round, considering they had absolutely nothing at the start, really.
Okay.
Let's watch this again.
Yeah, so the nade hit Flamey. Flamey walked over, died in front of them, and his movement was obstructed, yeah. So then it went down, Seized shot through him, and the nade then blew up his other team. That's pretty impressive. I like it.
Oh, what an absolute dribbly mess. That's what I like to see. All right, NAVi going for something a bit different here. We do have the 3 players down Ivy again, and you mentioned this at the start, actually. A lot of players keeping their attention towards Ivy in this game from NAVi. It did start to quiet down a little bit, but then it did come back into favor, it seems as though here is Karrigan will be the one waiting on the other side, and he's got a lot to deal with. And the main man himself, Guardian, at the forefront here. They need to check that properly. Flamey just kind of looked at it. He didn't actually check deep into the corner, leaving Guardian to have to adjust for it. That will be traded out in the end. So now 4v4. Edward and Simple working for T-Con. Kiebi watching both sides here. A little bit dangerous, but he's getting the lineup on the right side there. Simple goes, and now we're in a nice position for Astralis. They shouldn't start losing out on this, but already it's looking a little bit dangerous.
Very vulnerable position for dupreeh. Obviously obstructing vision, but that's very wallable up toward the control room in that middle pillar. So he gets one kill. Fortunately, doesn't get re-peeked out on this, but Edwards has the angle instead, walking in from A main, and we snap over to catch it. Guardian smokes Device coming through the smoke once more up close. It's on to Xyp9x, 1 versus 2. How quickly things can change. This NAVi firepower, you cannot rule out any situation. There's no safe ground to walk on. Xyp9x, he waits long enough to catch Guardian off, knows he still has bomb toward the hitch, and he just has to bait this away. 34 seconds, but again, he's cowering from the fight because he knows the situation. He got so much ground on the outside that Edward can come from any position, and it's still Edward. We're talking about, you want to rank them 3rd, 4th, maybe lowest on the NAVi team, and he's still a world-class player. So smart play from Xyp9x to allow it, gets him after the plant, gets the AWP, and it'll go to 7-5, but Astralis still struggling to pull this back money-wise. Thankfully for them, though. What button have you hit? You've broken my game. Okay, so this is 1 in a row after a 2-round reset. It's
He's
Alex's
left-handed.
config. I forgot. He's the only person in his right mind. That's my dad's joke. You get that, right?
Yeah, right mind.
Yeah, there you go.
Great.
All right.
No, yeah, Alex uses arrow keys and with his right hand, and then the left hand's the mouse. So now I actually don't know what anything is bound.
Explains so much about Alex.
Yeah, it does. I was going to try and defend him, but he's been mean to me today. But 5-7, previously, let's be very honest about this one. NAVi, when we look back at their previous performance on this map, were kind of stabilized by their T side. However, this is the aggression we want to see from Device here. Got to be careful to not overextend, but he's going to be in control of that B side of things.
Oh, we didn't see that. That is so smart from NAVi. And Guardian just walks in, takes down Xyp9x as well. Immediately on a quick stroke, dropping down the ramp. I'll finish the point because he is on fire right now. Kiebi gets caught as well. And bomb, well, it doesn't even matter where it is because they've got a 4 versus 2 early on. And C's will quickly scoop that up and go toward the B site. They threw the Molotov out. Device finally has the spawn to get to the corner at B. And before he can even get there, Molotov goes down. And he thinks, all right, they're just clearing that out from a distance. He goes to re-peek, and Guardian already has the angle lined up. As soon as he hits that shot, drops in, takes down the second player in B as well. That is so fast.
Just the presence of mind to do that when someone hasn't played that angle. He just seems to never get lazy. That's the main thing. Guardian seems to always be just checking every single possibility, no matter how unlikely it may be. He's aware of these sort of factors. And again, dupreeh and Kerrigan just going to try and keep these guns. Edward doesn't like the idea of that, so he's going to try and discover where they're hiding. However, good positioning. Kerrigan missing a bit of a shot. I'd expect him to hit. Simple now can adjust and go back in the peak, and he gets it. And now Astralis in trouble. Well, more specifically, dupreeh in trouble. Not quite known for the AWPing there, dupreeh. C's will catch him. And it's NAVi again, building up that very robust T side as they're coming in towards the end of this first half.
Yeah, NAVi's just done enough every single time, so it's only a 2-round bonus that's reset, but Astralis, again, they don't have the economy, and they're going to force on this one. Scout for Device, and this is Astralis just trying to scratch rounds away whenever they can at this point. I guess the good news is yesterday they led twice at halftime and lost both games, so maybe they're trying a new strategy.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, missed by Guardian, but Kerrigan can't do anything with the pistol, supported by C's. Never even saw the double op really needed on the NAVi side this entire half, whereas yesterday on this map they brought it out quite a bit, so.
Yeah, a little bit of a different NAVi, it seems, in this one. Looking pretty strong at this point. Timnis actually finds an angle to work with there. He should be overrun, and he is. That's simple, just to avenge and not let the round spiral in any sort of way. Leaving Device and dupreeh now. dupreeh could maybe find some success. Device with a good tag there. Can't do any more with that. That's Guardian. And that's what we expect from Guardian after seeing his performance today. Already coming in pretty hot to this one. And him and Simple evening this out, both on 14, both having some very big individual moments. And that is going to be quite the 1-2 punch for NAVi when they start getting towards the end of the season. Once they get warmed up to each other, play Simple into the lineup more, see how he eventually see that, I guess, end goal of NAVi. And even for the last round here, that's a really, really shoddy purchase from Astralis. Yeah.
Well, they're doing the same thing again. They've got to. It's interesting that they would try and force twice instead of buying once at the end of the round, but the pistols once more. They've got a few smokes to work with to try and slow down this push from NAVi. One of them's already been deployed at the top of the ramp at B. Kiebi a whole corner, but he's got to do it passively with pistol. Actually, he's going to try and get a peek on towards Simple. That's aggressive. Kerrigan, meanwhile, finding C's. Good start in the round over toward Ivy, and smokes off. He can grab the AK-47 plus the Molotov. Why not? That way he can drink his sorrows away when he realizes that it's still the only gun they have, and Navi is still pushing through. But Dupree, smartly, Trigger Discipline waits inside the smoke, and Flamey, he walks immediately past him. That's 2 AKs now gathered for Astralis, so they might be onto something here, but that's going to encourage as well Navi to get away from the A site and go over toward B, where they know there's no guns waiting, and just slightly slow on the reactions. Caribbean Simple just walks through his crosshair and takes his head off.
That's unfortunate as well. He was positioned in such a good place for it, but Device around the back. This could be big. Guardian instantly considers it. Guardian is so aware at the moment. This guy is absolutely sick at this sort of play. I don't understand it.
That's ridiculous that he turns around at the exact moment again. Guardian is just... he's on another level right now with this AWP. Gets caught finally. Dupree's going to put him down through the wards, but Edward 1 versus 3. Bomb planted immediately for him. He can try and catch them off early enough. He might be able to isolate if it doesn't do it. Kerrigan holds the angle from the middle of the train. Actually, okay, so the bomb X-ray threw me off. It's actually not. It was planted behind the train anyway, so Guardian had to get aggressive in that situation. And it's going to be 9-6. So Astralis struggle through the middle of that. 5 rounds in a row immediately when the guns came up for Navi. Good start to get the pistol. They were efficient on it. They caught the rotations off. They tried to shut down that play, but Navi did everything right. And Astralis, a few rounds, some poor decision-making, and I still think some timing issues on Kirby and Kerrigan inside the A site.
Yeah, I think that is actually going to be a big issue going forward, and I hope we get to see that starting to become resolved throughout all of this, but let's bear in mind, Guardian was an absolute monster as well. That individual performance, that awareness, absolutely incredible to watch, so I can't wait for the rest of this series. So, welcome back to the Pro League, ladies and gents. We are getting ourselves started in for the second half here on Train. We did get to see Navi on their T side, and it still looked good. It wasn't as flawless as maybe we expected, but then again, Astralis, they can at least fight back on this one. But we'll see if they can actually bring that into the second half here.
I mean, to be fair, they got 9 rounds without a pistol on Train with 6 straight, and a lot of those were clutch situations that they just blatantly won out of firepower. So super good job by Navi overall, I think. You're right, it wasn't perfect. There was some issues early on, but they, again, baited out utility really well and limited the economy for Astralis. So now, I don't even know. I mean, if you're going to look at Astralis to try and take down Navi when they got a double op rolling on the CT side of Train, it's going to be extremely hard to do. So We'll jump into it, see if Astralis can get the economy rolling early, try and limit that potential on the pistol round to do so. 5 sets of armor for NAVi on their CT side, but it's going to be 3 only for Astralis. They've elected to go a little bit more utility, including a Molotov on Kirby, and I would highly expect with going toward B is intended for the post-plant upper position. However, very forward stance and good positioning from NAVi already to get into the corner. And they've already got this covered off. Look, around the corner, they don't even have a flash to go on this. They're just going to walk out strength in numbers, but the lineup, Edward limited, so it's isolated. They have to walk into his crosshair, and that's gone. Forget your Molotov, forget your plant. NAVi reads it like a book and shuts down the B play very quickly.
Yeah, that was just a whitewash. Kerrigan, you've got to go beast mode to get back into it, and Simple's not going to allow that. Already completely shut out, shut down, and dealt with. NAVi pick up the pistol in the second half. And that's going to just start extending this. Let's be very honest here. That's just going to be strides in the right direction for NAVi. They should be able to follow this up as well, right off the back. Already 2 rifles invested in towards. Astralis, on the other hand, probably not going to go for anything too extravagant at this point. A little bit of armor here or there. A couple of deagle pieces or 2. But on the other side, look how many rifles they go for as well, NAVi. I actually quite like it about them. Not going for that incredibly SMG-focused buy we saw in that previous game today already. Didn't really like it. Was all SMGs out there. I think they even had 1 rifle previously in that last game we witnessed. This time around, I really like it, though. Going for that just stronger purchase here.
Xyp9x is going to try and do something with this Tech 9. Nearly does line up a headshot against Seized. Bullet pattern doesn't favor him in doing so. Instead, he goes down to 44. Bombs just anticipated to be dropped inside of A main so they can play the picks. Kerrigan, deagle in hand, has to hit the shot on Guardian quite quickly because he's being stared down. He does exactly that. Kirby as well. Simple's going to try and respond, though. Good position to swing, and that M4, Simple. 1, 2, and 3, perfect awareness, knows the timing. Seized goes and gets Xyp9x to close it out, but Simple, that was brilliant for a 4K, and that's such a perfect timing on those swings.
What is going on with this NAVi lineup? There are issues. You can see they're still a little rusty, but individually, my word, Simple is just incredible. You get that like awareness. As you said, the timing was a sick part to that. And then Guardian's been having these moments as well, so again, incredible stuff. Even though Astralis are a little bit dangerous in this one. This is just going to go for a bit of a feed, bit of a fast play, trying to get the plant, trying to catch one out, and really it's just buffering the scoreboard here for Astralis. Nice and easily done for NAVi. They get the clean 3. That's what you want to be seeing if you're a NAVi fan, and for them that's exactly the start they want on this second half now on this CT side. So 12-6 here. However, Astralis can come back in with this buy now, finally.
Yeah, and this is the thing, though. This is getting desperate. 12-6, like you say, they've doubled up on Astralis' scoreline, and sure, they can come in with a bye, but it's been effective rounds from NAVi, which means they've got another round in hand, essentially. And Device, AWP, he's already trying to guess the most conservative angle. He doesn't even strafe out the check hitch. He doesn't check down toward Hell. You know why? Because he knows Guardian is on the other side of the map, and he is far too quick on train. So he literally takes the closest angle and just hopes that someone's going to go toward it.
All right, 4v4, all
and sure
even
enough.
Here. Yeah. And what a surprise. Guardian now set loose, he's set free. Confidently bounding around the B site as well. You've got to be careful here. Dupree's not far off from being able to punish this sort of play. He can step out quite far here. He's actually watching for this push-up. He should have the angle first, bear in mind. But Guardian has been adjusting well. Not going to have a chance in that one. Dupree waited incredibly patiently. Actually gets the ult for himself. So again, looking for opportunities here. NAVi completely locked out of that B site.
Kirby goes for the plant though on B, so they at least do get some ground there. And NAVi, I did say they had a round in hand, but if they're going to play the long game with this lead, not a bad decision early to just bail out of this, keep the guns they have, keep the utility up. They've got 2 kits as well, so if they go down and have to force up in the next round, well, they won't force, but buy into the next round, they might be limited in terms of either nades or kits, depending on what they choose to go with. So smart decision early on, and Astralis, they'll survive with 4, which will build them up a little bit, and next round will be make or break for either team.
No pressure, nice and easy.
No pressure, NAVi. They've still got some room to work with in this.
They have plenty. However, for Astralis, They need to keep hold of this gun, for one. That's a massive factor here, or all the guns, should I say. They did recover that orb, which is a nice little freebie to be claiming from Guardian. So, that's into the hands of Karrigan now. And they finally get one back on the board. 4 alive for them, 3 toward the other side, and they can, I guess, share the wealth a little here. It is spreading it quite thin, though. They don't have that much money here, as you said. They will be skimping on some factors. Some pieces will be missing. They don't have that perfect set, but however, on the other side, Astralis have a decent amount.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the thing, though. They've got the double op setup, so this is so scary. We talked about Cold and Fallen being the best double op in the game. Well, a lot of people are already speculating that NAVi, if they ran it with Simple, would be. Well, guess what? They're still running Seized, and I still think it's super effective, especially on Train. Don't quite have the spawn to go for the aggressive B stance in all of this, but, I mean, both ops right now playing in tandem on either side. So they're going to have one watching Ivy, only a single player going there from Astralis. That's going to be Karrigan. Flashes around, though. That'll force Guardian slightly out of position. And with the rifle so far at A main, he can't afford to go for the repeak and get the support. But look at the B stack right now coming in from Astralis. They're going to be hitting this site quite quickly.
And they should know that. Simple and Edward already pushed up, but Seized there, finding Kievi. Flamey is still waiting as well. This is big positioning. Seized having free reign. Flamey with the support comes down. Edward waits on the push down. The bomb's been put in such a perfect spot for NAVi as well. They can lock that one out. And Astralis are left with so few options here. Again, if they want to keep hold of that orb, you don't want to be going down this way, but Device fancies his odds, fancies his chances, and he's got to be really careful. Edward is literally just over the other side, going to back off eventually. But yeah, this was not a pretty round.
Edward, though, going to try and compensate, come around, catch them off. Karrigan now the last remaining onto the AWP, and 33 seconds. Yeah, try and save it. That shower's not going to save you. Simple just takes his time, lines it up. 13 rounds now for NAVi. And again, Astralis, if I were them, I'd force here. You're in a situation where you're, okay, you don't have a whole lot in terms of the round loss bonus, but you've got to go for it. You've got to bring rounds, and you can get out Galils and AKs.
Yep.
This is the interesting. Okay, so Dupree goes Deagle to bring out utility. I want to see some more set pieces out of them. I want to see the defaults onto A. I want to see them try and isolate the AWPs and push them back. We saw them flash Guardian out of position, but that was a single player trying to get a pick shot out of it. It wasn't anything to try and take map control away. So if they can try and push them away and seize, look at how close he's playing this AWP. Flash will move him. Now they can try and push down, but a Molotov's going to slow considerably. They have put one player in the form of Xyp9x out toward the upper position so they can set the cross, but Flamey's already come back over as well. So again, Astralis needs to slow this down and make sure they can try and push the defense back.
Well, look at this. They are pulling rotates. They've got 3 players already coming over to B. If they went for a bit of an A hit off the back of this as quickly as they can, they'd be in a really nice position. Now, of course, Edward can get to connector fast, but you've got Guardian there as well towards Ivy. If he's out of position, they can exploit it. There's a lot of things right now that they're not aware of that can work in their favor if they go for this A hit. However, let's see if they actually commit off the back of this. Again, I know they like to fake this, but it looks like they are going to commit off the back. 3-hour T-Con. You got Xyp9x and Kievi waiting by Pop. And now the rest of NAVi already waiting on the other side of those smokes.
Edward trying to get a better vantage above the smoke. This is exactly what they needed to do, though. This is perfect. The smokes push the CTs back. They get a plant out of this. Device gets good ground. Edward, I think, saw him in that smoke, but on the ladder, he's not going to be able to do anything. He's trying to time that. I'm not sure he did. Either way, Device gets 2 out of the result. But Simple and Guardian combining again. Flamey walks in. Xyp9x almost lines up 3, but there they are, all out at the same time. And the op setup, it's Guardian to get the shot into Xyp9x. And another defuse coming in. So even with Astralis doing so well to push them back, NAVi says, all right, that's fine. Take it. We've got the firepower to walk back into the site. And right now, I don't think Astralis has the firepower even close to match NAVi. For me, just to go on a rant,
oh, here we go.
Device hasn't convinced me yet that he is a primary operator. The fact that we already mentioned he was taking the conservative angles, he doesn't have trust in his reaction time or his ability to take the one-on-one battles with guys such as Guardian, perhaps Kenny S, someone in that nature. And if you don't have that in an AWP player and you're limiting your best rifle player to do that role, something's not right. At least Cajun, I would say, would try and take those battles, even if he wasn't successful. So, I don't know. The roles for me right now on Astralis, I'm not convinced.
No, I think they got quite blurred, actually, at the very, I guess, the end of the play season before the break. You did see the Device did kind of saying, hey, I want to be the primary AWPer. And then, without the announcement coming back, you saw Karrigan slowly becoming more and more present on picking it up. You saw it, first of all on Mirage, and then you saw it kind of bleeding in towards the other maps. You saw it coming back through, and Karrigan is incredibly proficient on it. You can't take that away from the guy. He is very, very good. But, when Device was on that high point, it's so hard to deny him, but he does not look like that player right now, quite simply.
Well, Never mind the AWP this time. He's on a Galil. It's a Galil Tech 9 Deagle. Again, they force. They just want to get rounds. They want to try and limit NAVi from getting onto that map point. But an auto sniper out on their side on Flamey. We saw him do this yesterday, and we saw it be extremely successful.
Yep. Let's see what they go for Astralis. Now you go for the set pieces, do you? At this point? All right, well, they're going to line up the smokes. This could be a hit towards A. There's still 3 players here. They haven't particularly shown face anywhere else. So, again, they're not going to pull players away. If anything, there comes Seized. Here comes Flaming. They're all coming back over towards the safe site now. The same wall of smokes go up. Instantly, Edward looks for the fight over by Hitchy. Finds it as well. That's Device gone already. And Guardian just standing large and in charge here. Looking for the first opportunity. Spots down one. Goes for the second. Gets a tag there towards Dupree.
That's smart, though.
Unfortunate.
Oh, I thought that nade was going to land, but he gets back in the ladder room in time. That is super unfortunate. However, it's good enough for Astralis. Look at the HP. 2, 9, 10, and 9 gone. Kerrigan falls. 3 versus 3. They've got to find Edward quickly because they've got 2 weapons that are deadly. An AWP, which could easily be removed and switched to a pistol at this point, but Flamey's still on that auto sniper. Xyp9x trying to play this bomb out in behind Evox. The smoke's down, though. He thinks he's above it. He's on the ground. He's got it. Forget it. They don't even know he's on it. Xyp9x thinks he's off. Bomb defused. Doesn't even matter about the kills. Sure, you can get them. You can add it to your kill total, but guess what? It's map point NAVi already.
And they played that retake with 2 AWPs and 1 auto sniper. They could have probably switched out, as you said, or play it with a pistol, but they didn't even need to. Just straight on the defuse like an absolute champ. So, all right, 15-7. Astralis looking a little weary here. This was the team that we argued probably needed that break the most. That was probably going to benefit the most from having this break and coming back in fresh-faced and being ready to work with that new lineup. Again, we've not really seen much of a benefit just yet. Again, still early days, however, but as a team that's meant to be tipping towards the top, we're not really seeing much of that presence, and Guardian already getting off to a bang this round. First comes in, and he goes back for more, and hell, of course he's going to get it.
Simple. Sees the flashes of the muzzle, but can't find the lineup. The flash was well timed to allow Dupree to get up on top of the bomb train, but he's found immediately by Seized. We see the corpse fall, and Seized can now, well, misstir the Molotov. If he was playing Pokemon Go, he would not have caught that Bulbasaur.
Did you? Was Bulbasaur your first pick?
I didn't. I never downloaded the app.
The original game.
I think I went Squirtle the first time I ever played. Xyp9x going to try and lurk in late silently, but guess what? Seized already has his crosshair placed that direction, and Xyp9x crosshair placement was rather careless, as he wasn't sure which way to consider. It's now all on device for the map. As NAVi, well, they look to take another one off Astralis, who will go down 0-3 to start off the season. We mentioned that the Team X wins could haunt them. I dare not even say that. They've got to really pull up their socks because they've got problems right now. Train is a map that they could at least, sure, you're playing against teams like NAVi, maybe even Virtus Pro or SK on the map, but you could at least give them a contest. This wasn't even close.
No, it really wasn't. It didn't feel as though NAVi were pushed. And, I'm a big advocate for the way that Astralis play when they're on point. I think everyone enjoys it when they're on point. It's an incredibly exciting team to watch. However, that was an incredibly lackluster performance. I'm going to say it quite simply. I don't think the scoreline even represented how mediocre Astralis looked compared to NAVi. Now, NAVi, of course, had 2 big factors there. One being Guardian, one being Simple. Those 2, for me, were operating on such a high level. So, again, hard to face that individually, but we didn't see anything else from Astralis.
Yeah, I mean, again, and it's not to harp on Device. I think he's got a ton of skill. I think he's a great player, but I think he's more flashy on the rifle. And when he's playing a conservative game on an AWP, when you know you've got NAVi that you pretty much have to find a first pick against, especially when they're going to run a double AWP, it's not good enough. You've got to have the courage to take those fights. So I want to see a little bit more from them. Again, I think give some more time to Kirby in those positions because he's not swinging 100% on yet, but I think it'll come, that part will get fixed. It's just Device has to really man up in those situations.
I'm curious who AWPs on Mirage as well now, because that's the next map coming up. Now, Kerrigan has been actually dominant on that quite recently as well, but if Device picks it up, how will he fare? There's a lot of ifs, buts, and maybes, but I think Mirage is a really good telling point. That's the next map coming up in the series. But before we get there, let's head over to the desk to see what they have to say about that matchup.
Thanks very much, you two. Yeah, indeed. I think we're just going to run with the same kind of mindset there. Astralis looking distinctly lackluster. Very little kind of to write home about. And so far, I mean, not only in this game, but just as a kind of the comeback story, or just prior to the little 2-week break as well, Yanko. Losses to Virtus Pro, Mouse Sports, Team X now in the Pro League. Like, this has been a pretty slow start out of the blocks for the Danes.
definitely. And I think that Device's performance is standing out the most out of everyone, because we were, you know, praising him that he's become super consistent for Astralis throughout this year, pretty much, you know, performing in the big games as well. And, you know, in their 2 games yesterday, in the game today, he's been maybe even the worst performer on the team. And, you know, when you play against the likes of NAVi, you really can't allow that to happen, because on the other hand, on the other side, you had Guardian and Simple just going off, right? When you have a gun round where Guardian just walks into B, gets 2 entry kills, where not much you can do. I mean, after that, you simply can't allow things like that to happen all the time. That, you know, sometimes you're just not going to be able to do anything. But I felt in this particular map, it just happened too many times that, you know, NAVi's individuals just took over around completely.
I mean, we know that Train is one of Navi's favorite maps, probably 3rd in line, maybe 2nd, and it does seem like they didn't even have to pull out any of the magical tricks, any of the particular deep strategy. It was just kind of a, we're better than you in the aiming department.
Yeah, that's true. It feels like they still didn't have enough time to, you know, implement Simple completely into their style of play. You see signs of it, but, you know, right now it seems to me that they are relying more on their individual skill. If someone, you know, has a feel, I'm going to go for this move, I'm going to try and get entry into B, which we saw yesterday from Simple against G2, and it's been working for them so far.
So we're just seeing like a bit of a looser NAVi then? Is that, I mean, that's what the Simple arrival has just kind of created, its catalyst, the catalyst to this loose NAVi that perhaps will stick around for a couple of weeks, do you think?
I mean, for now, it does seem like it, that they simply can't go for all those complex plays or everything. They don't have they don't have enough coordination at this point. So you can see that the structure is there, the foundation is there. Now they just need time to build on it with Simple.
Yeah, and he was performing incredibly well as well. So many little highlights. I'm sure you'll be able to find all of those over at the Score Esports application and .com. He wanted to say .com. Who have I become? I don't know. The application, check it out on your smartphone. I'll be able to see just how well Simple did perform. While you are checking that out, though, we do take a break. When we come back, Astralis are going to have to try and bounce back on Mirage, a map that does perhaps lean a little more in the Danes' favour. We'll find out in just a moment.